A fine evening to you, Samuel. How are you feeling tonight?
Not bad, not bad. A little overwhelmed, but I guess I kind of have a lot going on these days.
Indeed you do. The mind is an easy place to get lost in, is it not?
You ain't kidding. Keeping all them cognitive distortions in my head and sorting through all my clients' problems ain't easy.
We are not machines, Samuel. I believe you will find that you can never handle everything. There is a term the mortals use these days, multitasking. It's a kind of meta-control fallacy. Even we must handle thoughts one at a time.
I guess. I just hope I can concentrate on my own therapy with all this stuff bouncing around in my noggin.
I do not expect you to be an exception to the rule, my dear fellow. Let us see whether we can clear your head. I would like to introduce you to a ritual I have learned for stealing the mind.
This some kind of ancient vampire secret? Something the old ones gave you that's been lost to time? Something mortals could never imagine?
No, it's just meditation.
Uh-oh.
That does not make the technique any less valuable. Now then, close your eye. Think of a place that brings you comfort.
I'd have to say the woods.
Then imagine the woods and let your thoughts be attuned to your body. Breathe and you will be able to address your thoughts and clear your mind. Now close your eyes and begin.
I ain't cut out for this therapy thing. And it sure is a tall glass of water. I miss my princess. I kinda miss farting. Focus, Sam, focus. Who's got a pretty mane? Wonder what's on Batflix. Should I hook up with Reinhardt? I'm so bad at meditating. I like blood from San Antonio, not New York City. Relax, ain't no vampire hunters here. Who's my favorite horse? Is it you?
How are you feeling now?
Yeah, all right. Fine, really. All them thoughts just feel...
What sorts of things came up for you?
Well, I thought about my clients. I thought about all them cognitive distortions.
Your horse?
Yeah, Princess. She was my horse back when I was alive.
I understand. I have bonded with many horses in my own life, but it sounds as though the loss of Prince...
Yeah,
Would you like to start there?
not sure I'd like it. But seeing as it's come up, maybe we should talk about what happened to her. It's got a lot to do with my old gang. I mentioned them before. Well, the Mystic Bastards was their name. They were the gang to join if you had nothing to lose, and I had nothing to lose.
That sounds like some Nosferatu thinking, my friend.
Oh, I can see that now. But it turned out I still did have something to lose. And they took that from me to prove my loyalty. They took my princess, killed her in cold blood, and made me watch the whole thing.
Oh, Samuel, I am so sorry.
I just stood there, watching her dying, with them big eyes looking at me like she knew they knew what it would take to break me. And it's my fault for letting them do it.
But Samuel, these Mystic Bastards, it sounds as though these loyalty tests were a cruel, mechanical part of their indoctrination process. These are the actions of a cult. They had no special care for you or your princess.
Well, sure as shit worked. They knew where to hit me, and it's my fault for letting it happen.
What they did, Samuel, had little to do with you personally. You were vulnerable, and they took it. Samuel, you are exhibiting a cognitive distortion known as personalization. You are attributing the Mystic Bastards' actions entirely to your own supposed failings. While it is natural to grieve for your horse, holding yourself solely responsible...
Hold on a sec, my head's hurting. I can't hold on to all them distortions all the time. Ain't personalization a lot like...
An astute observation, Samuel. Personalizations are often a form of control fallacy. While control fallacies often manifest as a belief that you have more control over external events than is actually the case, personalization is a more specific tendency to believe that external events are reactions to you. But let us leave control fallacies out of the picture for now. You are correct that keeping all distortions in mind at once is unrealistic. I would not interrupt your thoughts if I did not think personalization important. You are shouldering the blame for Princess's death. I can see that.
Well, if it ain't my fault, who else's is it?
The Mystic Bastards, of course. Let me put it into perspective for you. I will make a series of statements. I overslept in my coffin because I forgot to set my alarm. I bit Crimson's neck last night and missed the vein because I was distracted. It was entirely my fault.
That's the personalization. There's a million reasons why you might miss a vein.
But I admitted that I was distracted. In this...
I guess that makes sense.
Let me continue. Batflix raised my subscription price again because they knew I would pay no matter what.
Well, that's the personalization. Batflix has no earthly clue who you are. They just raised their subscription.
Just as your gang planned to isolate members from their former lives.
I guess so. I was just too stupid to see it at the time.
Calling yourself stupid is what distortion...
Yeah, it's labeling. But I should have known anyway. I knew that crew was bad news. I just thought I was bad news too.
You should have known. That's another distortion.
All right, fine. Should statement, whatever. So what the hell am I supposed to do, Andy? Say nothing's ever my fault and I don't gotta know nothing? I was responsible for getting that beautiful horse killed. She trusted me, and if I'd been someone else, she wouldn't have had to die in that awful way.
I am not asking you to lie to yourself. Far from it. And I am not suggesting that you absolve yourself of all responsibility. But what would you say if a friend came to you with the same... Would you tell them what they should have done? Would you call them... You said yourself that you joined your gang because they were the gang to join if you had nothing to lose. I do not think this is a...
Yeah, I suppose.
Remember, Samuel, we are trying to reframe our thinking by clarifying these. Let us forget what you should have done. You are drawing a direct link from your emotion to the death of your horse. I understand the guilt you feel, Samuel, but this terrible thing, it did happen. And some choices you made, but let us restrict your blame to what you have actually...
I'm sorry. I get awful worked up when talking about my princess. You should have seen her, Andy. She had these eyes.
I understand, Samuel. We feel tremendous guilt when we fail an animal. When we look at reality, it is not to dismiss our... I would like you to understand emotional reasoning so you can see how emotions color our thoughts. Please listen, and call me out when I am using emotional reasoning. I feel anxious. Perhaps it is the garlic naan I smelled from the Indian restaurant next door. The mood in my club is somber tonight. I am sure it is a reflection of my own dark mood.
That's the emotional reasoning right there. I don't think them folk in the club know too much about how you're feeling.
Exactly. Our emotions can feel all-encompassing, and that is purely biological. We are animals, Samuel. There is a small cluster of brain tissue at the base of the cranium that tells us we are safe or that we are about to die. The complexity of our existence is at odds with our biology, but we have the logic to recognize it.
Well, if reincarnation's a thing, I think I'd rather come back as a horse.
It is indeed a boon and a curse to have human complexity of thought.
No kidding. If I were a horse, I'd know better than to join any cowboy gang, let alone the Mystic Bastards. I'd be happy with a bag of oats and a field to run around in.
How did you end up with the Mystic Bastards in the first place?
Well, like I said, I didn't have much choice. Nobody would have taken me in at that point, except a hangman, maybe. I wasn't a vampire yet, so hanging didn't sound too appealing. The last job I did got my brother killed, and after that, my wife left with my daughter and I never saw him again. Can't say I didn't have nobody. Ain't no surprise that a vampire gang would be the only people to take me in.
Aha, so that is how you turned.
Yes, sir. It wasn't pleasant. Not the candlelight and writhing body sort of affair you see in mortal vampire stories.
That is terrible, Samuel. The turning is never easy. How did they find you?
That job that got my brother killed, we partnered up with one of them mystic bastards for it. He knew where to find me.
And he knew you were vulnerable and that you had no place to go.
I've thought about that. Were they setting me up all along? Maybe. But whether they were or not, I really didn't have any place to go. I know when them wanted dead or alive posters go up, folk find dead easier and more fun. People saw me as outlaw scum when I was a kid, and there was no way they were going to be kinder knowing I was in a gang.
You know this for a fact. You are certain that no one would have any pity on you at all, that your only recourse was to join your gang?
I guess I don't actually know that no one but the bastards would have taken me in. Sounds like a cognitive distortion, huh?
I think you see the patterns now. It may seem like pedantry, and perhaps it is, but pedantry is the search for ultimate truth.
Spoken like a true pedant.
It comes with being terrifyingly old. You discovered the cognitive distortion before I could point it out to you. It is a cognitive distortion similar to Nosferatu thinking, so let us put that particular distortion out of our minds for now. Yes, things were grim for you, but your experiences caused you to assume that there were none who would favor you with a kind eye. You were exhibiting the cognitive distortion of overgeneralization, the idea that no mortal could accept you. This clouded truth made you vulnerable to the mystic
Damn. Maybe we went wrong, huh? I should have joined the Foreign Legion or something. Dang it, should statement.
Your mind is not a cognitive distortion shooting gallery, Samuel. Cut yourself some slack. All we seek is recognition of our distortions, not perfection. Let us test your ability to recognize overgeneralization. Then I believe we will have covered enough for tonight. Elder vampires are insufferable. They all think they know everything.
Wait, ain't you an elder vampire? You don't seem like much of a no.
That's right, Samuel. Though in all honesty, I used to be quite insufferable myself. I aspire to be more patient these days. It seems to me that being a werewolf is pretty rough. Vampires from Transylvania all have funny accents. I want to suck your blood.
That seems like an overgeneralization, Andy. I ain't sure any of them ever sound. Pretty sure they all sound American these days anyway from watching bat flicks all the time.
Correct, Samuel. I apologize for the offensive accent. It was employed only to prove a point. Well done, Samuel. Your ability to identify cognitive distortions continues to impress. But let us bring things back to you. I do not ask you to absolve yourself of the things you have done. You did not have the tools to be mindful of the thought patterns that made you vulnerable to the mystic bastards. I have seen mindfulness take root in you, though, Samuel. I hope this session has been helpful to you.
Yeah, I'm still sad. I'm still regretful about Princess. I think I'll always be. My not being mindful is what killed her. Every time.
It does. Then please tell me what cognitive distortion you just exemplified. Was it emotional reasoning, overgeneralization, or personalization?
It's emotional reasoning. I'm drawing a link from my pain to what happened to Princess.
A wise deduction, Samuel. But you will find that it is also an overgeneralization to say that you are a terrible person who messes things up, and personalization to say, remember, cognitive distortions are not a cudgel to beat yourself with.
Yeah, I was gonna ask about that. If we're spouting cognitive distortions all the time, ain't my clients gonna be mad at my constantly
You continue to impress. Yes, we cannot bully our clients with distortions. Thus, I find it is best to clear our minds, and keeping endless distortions in mind is not easy for a therapist either, after all. I think we have done excellent work tonight, and I'm certain you've built up a thirst. I know this evening was emotionally intense.
Drinking booze ain't exactly compatible with our biology, and
By Scotch, I mean Scottish blood. It's iron-rich and quite delicious. I age it in whiskey barrels.
that sounds pretty nice. I might just do that and call it an early night.
As you wish, Samuel. Rest well, and do not lasso yourself so tightly, as you say.
I'm just gonna leave before I get more embarrassed.
Very well, Samuel. Rest in peace, my friend. Samuel, greetings. You are seeing Dr. Drain.